Hi guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the book series that I absolutely have to continue in 2020. I had a look at my shelves and I found like so many series that I really am dying to continue, but for some reason haven't. So I'm hoping that this video is gonna push me to actually do it. The first series is The Themis Files by Sylvain Neuvel. I've only read the first book, Sleeping Giants, and it's been 2 years. I really enjoyed it, but for some reason I didn't feel like compelled to pick up the sequel, and honestly by this point I have sort of forgotten a lot of the details of the first book, and since there's kind of a mystery element to this series, I'm not sure if I should actually reread the first one maybe before continuing. This follows a scientist who discovers parts of an alien spaceship like all over Earth, I believe. I honestly can't remember more than that, so if that doesn't tell you that I really should reread the first book, I don't know what will. The next series is Remembrances of Earth's Past by Cixin Liu. This is a Chinese science fiction series that I also started 2 years ago, but despite the fact that I've owned this book probably since I read the first one, I still haven't continued because it is very heavy sci-fi and kind of intimidating. I found the first book really interesting and extremely like suspenseful as well, but there was also so much science that it took me a long time to like work my way through and try to comprehend as much as I could without actually knowing a lot about physics or any of the sort of fields that it was talking about. It's just intimidating, but at some point I really want to read this and finish the series. My dad loves these books. I think he's read this one, and he might also have read the third one already, but he's like a lot better at science and like this is more his thing. But yeah, this one definitely has to happen super soon. The next series is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I'm only missing the third one from this. I read the first 2 books this year, enjoyed them, but since these are kind of like a light-hearted summer read, I'm probably gonna hold off until that season to pick this one up. It's the conclusion to the trilogy. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. The next series is the Korman Strike mystery series by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. I've only read the first one and this one, and I haven't yet continued, mainly because I'm not super in love with them, but at some point I do want to read all of them. Let me know if you enjoyed the sequels and how the story continues, because that's kind of my main driving force in these kind of mystery series, is the connection that I feel I have to the main characters. And I do like them in this one, but I don't love them. So it's kind of like maybe. I'm putting it on the list because I do still have plans to continue, but it's not a high priority at this point. So let me know if you think I should change that assessment. The next one really isn't even a choice. It's just, I feel it in my bones. I have to read this book. And that is the Book of the Ancestor series by Mark Lawrence. I've read the first one 2 years ago. Again, this year wasn't good for me reading series. Like I really slacked on that, but I have to read Grey Sister and Holy Sister. I really enjoyed the first one. It was really cool. I like the concept for this world so much. It's basically a world where everybody has to live near the equator because the Earth is like cooling down, I guess. So the poles are expanding, kind of the opposite, I guess, of what's happening to us. But the poles are expanding and like the ice is coming closer and closer. And so it's kind of apocalyptic, but also fantasy. And just really cool assassin nun stuff, which we all know is my favorite thing in the world. So I don't know why I have not yet like immediately read these, but soon. Another series I've just been pushing ahead of me and procrastinating on is the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemisin. The last one I'm missing is the Scone Sky? Oh, that would be great. A scone sky that's just raining scones. I love this idea. Oh my god, now I'm hungry. So the Stone Sky, unfortunately, is the last one I'm missing in the series. The reason I haven't picked this up yet is because I was kind of struggling with the writing style of the series as a whole. So I never really felt like super drawn to it. I don't like the second perspective parts. I know they're important, they play a part, but like, don't love it. So that was kind of like a little bit difficult for me to get through, which is why I think I haven't read this one, but I like the story as a whole. I love the concept. It's so clever, it's so smart, and I just need to know how it finishes. So hopefully 2020 is the year of me just getting over it and just doing it and just reading these books. Next is the Divina series by Lyra Bray. The last book in this series is one of my most anticipated releases, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna continue. I still also have to read this third one, but I really love the first 2 books. I know it's one of the most like beloved series on BookTube, and rightly so, to be honest. Like, it's just phenomenal. I love everything about it, and I cannot wait to continue it. Next is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This one has a sequel called Us Against You, and I have it, but I haven't read it yet. It's mainly because while this book is beautifully written, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite books of the year. It's very heavy, and I have expectations that the second book is going to be equally heavy, although I assume it's not going to talk about exactly the same thing because that would kind of be repetitive, but I am expecting it to pack just as much of a punch as this one. So I've been a little bit like, okay, I need to be in the right headspace to read it, but it's definitely very high on the list. Like, I need to know what happens next. The next series I'm continuing is the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but that's what the first book is called. Second one is called A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. I enjoyed the first one. It had like some good parts, some not so great parts, but I was positively surprised by it not being garbage. So I gave it like 3.5 stars, and I'm excited to see how the story continues. I think it's different, like it's not taking itself too seriously, so I hope that kind of idea continues through book 2. The next series I want to continue is the Veronica Speedwell mystery series by Deanna Raybourn. So far I've read 4 books in the series, and I enjoy it. These are some of the most underhyped books I think on BookTube, so if you haven't picked these up yet, please do. You won't regret it. Except for book 2, which isn't great. But so far, the series overall has been fun, and I'm optimistic that hopefully in book 5, which comes out this year, we're finally gonna get something, some romantic entanglements that we've all been waiting for. So it needs to happen. I'm sorry. If it doesn't happen in this book, then I'm just gonna call Deanna Raybourn out for being very, 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 very mean. Very mean and a big tease. Next is the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. The third book, The Hand on the Wall, I think, is coming out this year, very soon, next month. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the story finishes. Like, I hope it's good. The second one was a big disappointment, but the first one and the overall premise, I really, really enjoyed. And I just can't wait to complete this. Like, I'm so excited. Yes. The next one is a big one, and it is just basically the entire Realm of the Elderling series by Robin Hobb. I am only on the second trilogy of this, like, I don't know, 50,000 book series that is extremely intimidating, but I have only read like 4 of them. This is the first book of the Live Ship Turtles trilogy, which, as I said, is the second one in this like whole saga. And while I enjoyed it, I didn't love it as much as the first trilogy, and I do own the second and third book in this one. I just haven't had the time and the dedication, honestly, to pick it up because it's so big and I'm not 100% in love with it. These books always start very slow because honestly the blurb gives so much away. If you're gonna read the book, at least in these like editions, don't read the blurb because they literally tell you what happens in like the first 100 pages or more. And it just basically results in you having to sit through stuff that you technically already know about. So it's really frustrating. I don't know when I made the decision. It's not a good decision. Don't do that. But after that, it gets more interesting, obviously. But so it's like a little bit difficult to get into these ones. So, but I do have to do it because the Fitz and the Fool are my favorite characters, and they won't come back until like, I think the next trilogy. So this one is following completely different characters, but I do feel you have to read them in order. So I'm just like basically waiting until I can get back to my favorite characters. But it also means that I do have to read 2 more books, and I hope to do that this year. I only have 3 more, okay? Don't worry. The next one is the Alice series by Christina Hendricks. It's only a duology, and this is the second book. It's called Red Queen. It's basically a gruesome, very, very, very cool retelling of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. I love Christina Hendricks' writing. She's a really great author. She's written a ton of fairy tale retellings, but so far I've only read Alice, and I've kind of kept myself from reading more because I was like, I need to read Red Queen first, and then I can buy more. So this is basically the only thing that stopped me from devouring all her books. I don't know why I haven't read it, because I want to, but it is kind of more a horror book, I think, so maybe I'll have to wait until fall, but who knows. Sometimes I just get into weird moods at random times of the year that don't at all fit the season, so maybe I can squeeze it in before then, which would be great. Second to last, I have the His Fair Assassin trilogy by Robin Lefevre. This is the third book, called Mortal Heart. I love the first and second one this year, and I just have to completed. I've been very bad just in general, but particularly this year with starting series and reading the first 2 books because I'm like in the mood for them, and then stopping at the 3rd one because I've kind of burned myself out, and then I don't read the 3rd one forever. This is like my MO basically, and it sucks. I need to change that because it also means that I forget a lot between book 2 and 3, and I would love to get back to a time when I was able to binge read series. I need to continue the series. It's again about assassin nuns. It's really great. You need to check it out, but I need to read the sequel like really bad. And then finally is The Day of a Bad Trilogy, I think, by S.A. Chakraborty. I've only read the first book, which is called The City of Brass, but I do own The Kingdom of Copper, and it's been a while since I read this. Again, 2017. I left a lot of series in 2017 that I still haven't continued. Oh well, I can do it now because the 3rd book comes out, and The Empire of Gold, I think it's called, this year. So it's a perfect opportunity to just like read all 3 books. But again, I probably have to read the first 2 earlier, so then I can actually be in the mood for the 3rd one when it comes out. I don't know if that makes sense. Whew. But that finally concludes all the book series I desperately need to continue in 2020. This is not at all stressful. Nope. Nope. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know the series that you want to continue, like desperately dying to continue in 2020. Leave them in the comments. Also like, subscribe, the usual. Check out more videos on the screen right now, and I hope to see you back very soon. Have a lovely week. Bye!